All right, so welcome to the MRCEM Primary Bootcamp by Golden Nia. This is your introductory session, and I want you to have a chat with me about what your reservations are, what your weaknesses are, what do you expect out of this course, and what is it in every subject that you struggle with when you do MCQs. The thing is, we do have the live session, we do have live classes that mentors are going to take, but those are generic ones, right? So those lectures are made for everybody, all 6 of you. But this different thing we are doing with the course is giving you individual study plans. So if somebody struggles with physiology a lot more than anatomy, all you have to do is just leave a message in the Telegram group saying, okay, I don't understand the CO2 oxygen dissociation curve, help me with it. And we will send you something that will help you with it. Notes, maybe a diagram, maybe a short video, anything, just to help you understand the concept. Obviously, it's going to be shared in the group publicly so that others can benefit, but it is going to be targeted for that person who was struggling with it. So the more open you are with your struggles, the better it's going to be. And the more we can make sure that you pass this diet. So let's have a quick review of what we can offer you. So we are targeting the April exam, and all of you are April candidates. The generic lectures are where you learn. We have the mocks where you practice. And then we have the rapid review sessions 2 days before that you will, not 2 days, I bet like 3-4 days before the exam, so that you have a refresher. With a fresh mind, you go into the exam and we have refreshed all the subjects again. These are your mentors. I'll be teaching some of the live sessions. We've got Dr. Sabah and we've got Dr. Saqib, and they'll be teaching. Dr. Saqib is going to take on anatomy lectures and Sabah is going to be teaching physiology. The rest of the 14 lectures are going to be me, and I'll be at the background of everything. So I'm the one helping you out with analysis, with mock exams, with any deficiency there is. I am available on Telegram and WhatsApp, but I would prefer that you keep the conversation restricted to the Telegram group, because that way I know where the messages are and where to focus. Okay. What are we targeting? So you know the exam structure, right? 2 parts, total of 180 questions, 3 hours, and roughly you've got 1 minute per question. And this is what we are going to make you do in the mock exams. So we are going to test you within that time frame and see how you do under pressure. Okay. Oh, the percentages, I think I've got this one wrong. So it's not, anatomy is not 30%, it's going to be more than that. It's the same as physiology. Excuse that there. So your timeline, I know many of you were saying, we haven't studied anything. I don't know what to do. Should I go for the exam? Should I not go for the exam? Is it something that I should be doing, especially since I haven't studied? The short answer is yes, you should go for the exam. The thing is, you don't need a lot of time for primary. All you need is discipline. As long as you work with us, I can assure you, you can pass. What that means is you attend all the live lectures, okay, or at least try to, and participate and listen. You're not just, I don't want you listening while you're working or driving or doing something. I want you listening just for those 2 hours. Make sure you have a pen, a paper, notes, something. You're sitting down on a table without any distractions, no phones around, or if you're listening on the phone, then the phone's there. No screenshots, okay? The thing is, I feel like when you start taking screenshots, you're getting distracted. All the notes, everything, it's going to be in your Telegram groups. You don't need screenshots for it. So the lectures don't have any extra information. Don't try and take lectures screenshots unless it's like absolutely necessary. You feel like, no, I need it. Otherwise, just ask us in the Telegram group, like, can you send that table? And we will send it. Can you send that? We might not be able to send you the PowerPoint presentations of the mentors because that is their contractual property, like a copyright thing. But any other notes, anything you need, any special table you want, any good looking diagram you need, we'll make it for you and send it. Don't worry. Don't waste time on screenshots. I want you listening. and writing down important points. That's how you retain and learn. Second is skill refinement. So this is when we start working through the mock exams. The mock exams are structured in a way that once you're done with anatomy, we're going to move towards the anatomy mock, and you will be giving a full 90 MCQ anatomy mock. Okay. Then we go to physiology. It's going to be 90 MCQs for physiology, and then it's going to be 90 MCQs of mixed subjects, which includes patho, pharma, EBM, and micro. It's going to be together in 90 MCQs. And then we do another mock for physiology and anatomy because it's important. So technically, you're doing 180 questions with us for anatomy and physiology each. And then you're doing the rest of the subjects. After we are done with subject-wise mocks, we are going to move towards mini mocks, and these are mixed mocks and full mocks. So we might just mix them up together. I was thinking of doing mini mocks separately, but I feel like you will benefit more if we do live mocks, which is when a tutor sits with you, is online basically, and we go through all the 180 questions and you give the answer. We do a quick discussion. And so we're going to do like 3 or 2 maybe live mocks, and the rest of the mocks, 3 mocks that we have prepared, are going to be offline on Google Forms that you will do under exam conditions. Got it? So far, happy with the plan? Are we understanding any concerns or queries? You can unmute and discuss, or just leave a comment in the chat box. Okay, brilliant. All right, so phase 1 is the curriculum. And like I said, anatomy and physiology is going to be 5 sessions, but that does not mean that we just force you to cover the syllabus within those 5 sessions. You will have the 5 live sessions, but every single day after the live session, or maybe during or before, like it could be any time, I will be sending specific points that you need to focus on from that lecture, right? These points you might not find in the lecture, which is okay. I don't care. These points you might have overlooked, which is also fine. These points have been targeted to include recalls, important anatomical or physiological concepts that would build up SBA in the future, or they are clinically relevant for your primary. Either way, these are very important points that we've made up. And these will be shared after the lectures, usually. I want you to finish the lectures, finish listening to us, and then do try and read those points. We'll also be sharing files. Now, I have made the files, the rapid review sessions, and I was thinking of sharing them all at once. But then I realized that you're not going to study if I share it all at once. So we're going to do it step by step. Like for the first session, it's anatomy of head and neck, right? I'm sharing the points in Telegram, and these are just points that you can read while you're having, if you are a Muslim and fasting, just suhoor, you can just read those points. You're going to work and you're not driving, you can read those points at work. Just simple reminder points. The document has the full notes, and these are the notes that you need to study from. It's like technically a textbook. I've compiled a textbook for that topic so that you study from it diligently. And we will share it topic-wise. So I'm not going to share it all together because I feel like you're not going to study. So we're going to share it topic-wise. And obviously at the end of the whole 5 sessions of anatomy, you will have the whole anatomy in the form of those notes with you. Okay? And if you still feel like, okay, this wasn't done or wasn't covered properly, or I'm still struggling with it, then we will share more stuff. Now, this isn't the only analysis that we will be doing, by the way. So this is the analysis at your end, right? You study a topic and you feel like, oh, I'm struggling with it. Or you do the MCQs and you feel like I'm not up to the mark. But there's also an analysis that's happening when you submit your mock exams, and we will be watching the trend. We'll see you do your anatomy, physiology on all the other mocks, and we'll see which questions are you struggling with, and we'll have a session discussing your weaknesses and how to fix it, okay? Because the rapid review sessions before your exam is what we'll be targeting for this, where I'll tell you like, okay, so you're struggling in anatomy, make sure you don't misread the question or you do this, and you kind of find patterns whenever you're doing these mocks. We did the same method with our SBA intermediate candidates, and we will be doing the same method with you all just to make sure that you're not doing the same mistakes over and over again and not fixing them. Okay. The lectures are recorded and we will send them in the Telegram group for all of you to just listen at your own pace. However, my recommendation would be please listen live, because I know that once you start relying on the recorded sessions, you will have a pile up of stuff. You're not going to be listening to the recorded lecture. There's so much that you need to go through that you will struggle. So listen to the session live, because after that, you will have some MCQs being shared in the group, like regular practice MCQs. Then you'll also have the rapid review points that I send in the group. And then you have the actual curriculum, the head and neck, for example, the head and neck document that I've prepared. And I'll show you a quick recap of what I'm talking about before the session ends. So this is like so much is going on that I don't want you to just be like, oh, I have to take time out for the recordings. So I would prefer if you try and attend live as much as you can. Assessment strategy, like I said, 2 anatomy, 2 physiology, and then 1 which is a combined kind of one. Mini mocks are 90 SBAs and then 4 mocks. So this is how we're targeting it. Then we'll have 2 rapid review sessions. These will be taken by me, where we cover recalls, important stuff, last minute pointers, and how to just make sure that we pass the exam. And then 22nd of April is the day you perform. So these are just the phases of what we're expecting you to do. Nothing new here. All right. Oh, did I go through the mentors? Yeah, we did go through the mentors. Okay, never mind. All right, so that is the end of my presentation. Now I want to have a chat with all of you because there's not much to talk about. I want to see what your baseline is. So I'm just going to see who the participants are, and we're going to go through one by one. So let's start with Haris. If you can't unmute Haris, I'm happy for you to just comment in the chat box. Tell me about your preparation, or just all of you tell me about your preparation. What have you studied so far? What are you worried about? And what subject you struggle with? Have you given the exam before? Is it the first time you're going for the exam? Just let me know a little bit what your background is. Are you currently in emergency medicine? Have you recently studied basics? So what's the baseline that I'm looking at so that I can build up on that knowledge? Keep writing in the comment box, please. Or if somebody wants to unmute and have a chat as well, it's fine by me. Are we writing, guys? Okay. While you're writing, let me just bring up the notes that we were discussing.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
I'm not
salam.
sure. I'm not sure everybody else is writing, so I just wanted to talk directly.
Sure, go
Uh,
ahead.
I'm Salman from Rawalpindi. So I am working right now, but my job is like 8 to 2, so I can spare time. Uh, what I did in January was that I went through the MCQs in MRCEM Success of Cardiology, the basics of
Okay.
physiology, and a bit about this microbiology. So I went through this stuff, but then I went for Umrah, then I came back. But since coming back, I had this sinusitis kind of thing, and I couldn't read much. So in the last 1 week, what I have done is I have gone through the first two chapters of Pathoma. That is basically the basic path. So that I revised. So I have a bit of touch about the general path right now. Beyond that, I feel I can do it, but I am just in a kind of a puzzled situation, to be honest. So that is why I asked you yesterday, because I have gone through the stuff last year, but one is not comfortable unless one goes through the stuff again. So that is my situation right now, and I am really looking forward to go through all the stuff again, and hopefully I pass the exam without worrying too much. So that is
Okay.
my situation. Yeah,
I
I think I might struggle a bit with the anatomy part, no more rather than physiology, because I feel comfortable that I'll go through. If I go through the physiology lectures, I'll be in a much comfortable position. But as far as the anatomy is concerned, I think that will require a bit of hard work for me.
okay. All right. I've got a basic picture of what you're saying. And I feel like most of you will agree with what Salman was saying, that you all just need that push to start and an accountability, somebody who's constantly telling you each and every day, study, 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 you need to do this, you need to do this, study this. Somebody who's at you constantly for the next 1 month or like 6 weeks that we've got to make sure that you study. That's all you need. Because at the end of the day, it is your exam and you do have to study. And I will give you all the materials, but unless you put in that hard work, you won't see results. So I need a commitment from all of you today that are you willing to put in the hard work as much as I am into the notes and the stuff that I can get you to make sure that you pass? If so, I don't think there's anything that can stop you from passing this exam. All right, anybody else who wants to have a discussion about their weakness with anatomy, Salman, don't worry. I'm just going to show you the notes as well, just to like put your mind at ease with what we've got. And even then, if you still feel you need more support, just message in the Telegram group, whatever it is that you're struggling with, and we'll make it easier for you to understand. All right, so Yam from Nepal. My Zoom is not working properly. That's all right. Maybe need to update. I have completed MBBS not long ago, so my basic is not so good. I need both physiology and anatomy. Okay, that's fine. As long as, again, like I said, as long as you're willing to put in the work. I will tell you what to do, but you need to follow it. So no cutting classes, no looking for shortcuts. Whatever I send, I need you to at least study, read it as many times as you can. I'm not asking you to subscribe to any other MCQ bank. Please, you don't need to. One. Second, you don't need to like go and chase any recalls. You don't need to look for any textbooks. Everything that you need is basically condensed in these notes for you. So I've done the researching and the hard work for you. All you need is to now study. That's it. All right. If there's anybody else who wants to have a discussion or leave a comment, go ahead while I just show you like how to use these notes. So this is, for example, the thorax and abdomen. Okay. Now you know that RChem does not give you a straightforward MCQ. They give you a clinical STEM. So I've made sure that when I give you something to study with like all of this, so I give you a clinical STEM here, right? And an anatomical fact about it. So here, if you can see, if you can follow along with that, this is the clinical scenario. So this is what you will see in your exam. Like this is what the scenario would look like. This is what they're testing, that the IVC pierces the central tendon of the diaphragm at T8. And then a little bit more information just to keep you going. Okay. I might also add a recall in there mentioning it as an exam tip, like T8 is IVC plus the right phrenic nerve. So sometimes they might not just ask you about the T8 or the IVC, they might ask you what other structure goes through, and it's the right phrenic nerve. Okay, so things like that you can have in the exam or as a recall, it's already there. Then the second one, again, with the scenario, and these are like 200 points of these same way we've gone through to cover each and everything. So now you have this idea in your head, like, how can they ask the question? And how can what's the high yield fact? And then what could be the exam tip? Okay. That's how you can go about doing this. So these all will be shared with you, and you need to study them one by one. So that's why I'm not sharing them all at once. So this was an example of anatomy. This is EBM, one of the notes for EBM, where I've just put in the important stuff. EBM is just 10 MCQs, and most of the time, math-related MCQ is just one. That's it. So I wouldn't want you to waste your time on the math-related MCQ, which is just one out of the 180. I'd rather you learn the other 9 MCQs. Okay. Even though we will do the other, like the MCQ part, we will do it. Don't worry, the math ones. But still, this is just another document. I might make, oh, it's still loading. I might make new notes in the middle if I feel like, there's more explanation required or something new comes up. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with these. They will be shared in the group. Okay. Same notes have been made for your physiology, for other subjects like micropharma, etc. And during the live sessions as well, we will discuss everything. The live session slides are not going to be like this. They are more theory based. So that is different. The notes are different. The one-liners are going to come in the group anyway. And also, these are also one-liners, the 200 points. These are all one-liners, but they are not just given to you as one line. It's actually turned into a how is the MCQ going to come? And then that same one-line fact has an MCQ stem behind it. It has another little bit of a fact. And if there's a recall question related to it, that is also going to be written there. Like if there was a recall that came in the past about that very fact, you'll have that too. Okay. But again, other than
Assalamu
these
alaikum, Dr. Taj.
MCQs,
Excuse me.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. First of all, really thank you for such kind of very well versed and very perfect way for the study. That what really I need. I need, as you know, my background. We have discussed, but I'm basically for others. I'm a doctor of Asaba Youth, working in UAE in emergency medicine. I'm at the moment I am taking two other courses, but why I preferred Dr. Tajveer's course because it's really to the point and highly yield. We need because in other courses there are too much stuff to study, and I'm working 12 hours a day, and in my off there are nowadays Ramadan. It's very hard to study everything. But Dr. Tajveer's course is what I found. It's highly yield and to the point. That's why it's make other courses are a bit different from hers. So really perfect, as you showed me this thorax and abdomen one-liners and the highly yield. It's perfectly easily digestible, and we can, inshallah, we can make this happen very easily.
thank you for your feedback, Dr. Afrasiab. That is how you pronounce your name, right?
Yeah, basically, everybody's called me Dr. Yu, but you can call me Dr. Afrasiab
Okay.
also.
All
Yeah.
right. So thank you for your comments, Dr. Yu. But the thing is, look, I can give you notes and they can look really pretty and they can look really nice, but you need to study. That you cannot get away with not studying. So I will be at your necks. Okay. The
Of
Telegram
course.
group is going to be hell for you because I am going to keep asking you, like, yes, we need to study, you need to do the notes. And I think not many of you know, but Dr. Yub was one of the first people who joined, I think a month ago. So I did get him to study
Exactly.
physiology and anatomy. And
Yes, yes, doctor.
I have been making him go through, like, I've been sending you one-liners while you were studying on your own.
Yeah, I do have the one-liners, which is same as the other courses. But what I'm thinking now, Dr. Taj, this, we need, we should not waste our time to the MRCM success and stuff like that, right? And the recalls, everything is compiled in the same your notes, right?
Yes, I don't think you need to do anything else. Even the MCQs, we will be sharing MCQs off and on in the Telegram group, like just for your practice. But the mocks are actually on Google Forms. So the mocks are not
Uh-huh.
going to be haphazard. You will use your email address, and I will know exactly which student performed how much in each question. We'll have a full analytics of that. So that is one mock per person for like each subject, and I can see your weaknesses. You can see your weaknesses when you do those mocks. So that will
Inshallah.
help you with the like MCQ part of it, if that's what you're worried about with like getting subscriptions. I don't think you need it. We'll just keep making you do the same thing over and over again until you learn it by heart. That's the aim, basically.
Jazakallah khair. Perfect. Okay, doctor.
So from tomorrow, you will have your first lecture with Dr. Saqib. He's going to teach head and neck. And once the lecture's done, the Telegram group is going to have some points in there just for your revision. And then the document, like for the head and neck document, is going to be shared. And your task is going to be to read all of it before your next session, which is going to be on, I'm going to share the schedule as well. I think I've shared it before. We did make a few changes in the schedule. I don't have it in like a print form to show you, but I'm just going to revise it. So 6th is the first lecture, and then the next one's going to be on the 10th. So you have like 3 days in between this. And during those 3 days, we will share MCQs off and on, but we do expect you to study during that time. So those 3 days, head and neck document, you're studying, you're going through the points, and you're revising everything. Okay? And then the next anatomy lecture happens. Now, a few the lectures we had to shift because of Eid coming in the middle. So 21st or 21st, 2nd, and 3rd is what we're looking at with Eid dates. So your last lecture is going to be on the 19th of March. And then we're going to have a bit of an off for Eid. And we'll start the lectures again on the 24th, which kind of puts our schedule a bit ahead of 9th of April, which we were targeting for the live lectures. So the live lectures will now end on the 12th. I'll make the full timetable and send it, this whole schedule, I'll send it in the group. And then we're looking at the mock exams, which will happen a bit later. But your first mock is going to be in the middle of these sessions. So 25th March is when we start. After Eid is when you start getting your mock exams as well. Okay. All right. So that's all from my side. I don't have anything else. I was just hoping to have this conversation with all of you. I've had a discussion with all of you except Haris. Haris, are you able to unmute or just comment at least? How is your practice? How are you studying? Because I've discussed about Yam, Salman, and Dr. Yu.
Hi.
Hi, Haris.
Hi. I'm Haris. I'm from India.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am presently working in emergency department post MBBS,
Okay.
and I also completed a fellowship in emergency medicine, 2 years fellowship, and I am working in a hospital in Trivandrum, South India.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to pursue MRCM. And my basics are also bad, as all explained. Bad anatomy, and looking forward to study hard in this 1.5 month, and determined to pass this exam.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
So most of you are struggling with anatomy then. I feel
Anatomy,
like
yeah.
it's a common pain point. Okay, so we have the 5 sessions of anatomy. Once we're done with the 5 session, I'm going to have a chat with all of you and see where you feel you are with anatomy.
Okay.
And if you still feel like, okay, no, we're still struggling, we can increase the number of lectures. I don't mind. We can add more sessions just to help you out, maybe add more mocks just to help you out,
Okay.
whichever way you learn best. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
All right. So that covers all of you. I think one of the candidates didn't join. I'll have a,
Sorry, Dr. Taj, I want to add
yeah.
one thing here. As far as my pace is concerned, I have taken MRCGP exam, MRCS exam, MRCP exam, and now this MRChem. Uh, what my lacking is, at the end, I always left with 15 to 20 MCQs. This is a big problem with me. I don't know, but I'm not spending too much time on every MCQs, but in every PG exams, what I came across, I'm left with at least to be the minimum 8 to 10 MCQs I'm being left with at the end. So how to improve this problem? Really, I need help.
We'll see with the mocks how you do, but the thing is, the Google Forms does not have a timer on it. It's not a timed mock. You will have to time yourself and then tell me how long you did. But my recommendation would be, for example, if it's a 60 MCQ anatomy mock, put the timer on 50 minutes and see how you do.
Hmm.
Because it's not just
Okay,
about doing the MCQs within a time frame. It's about making the right decision during that time.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If you rush, you can make silly mistakes. Like the questions that you could have gotten right, you just rushed through and got them wrong, and that's bad. So we do go over a few things when it comes to like the MCQ techniques. For example, I'll give you a few tips. For example, with primary, the last line of the question is always the important one. Because at the end of the day, what they're asking is anatomy, physiology, micro, and anything, right? So if it's an anatomy or a physiology question, the last line is usually good enough to give you a gist of what they're asking. So read the last line first and see if it makes sense, the options make sense. If they don't, read the rest. If they do make sense, go ahead with the option. But my
I
suggestion would
see.
be like if they're asking something simple, not waste time on the whole, because they will give you very big questions. Like the MCQ stem is going to be starting off with clinical, asking something really stupid in the end.
I see. Okay, doctor.
So that's one of the ways that you can save time. The second is knowing these exams are designed to actually allow you to comfortably do these questions within the time frame. Okay. So the only reason you would be left with the MCQs to do in the end is because you were spending too much time thinking on one MCQ. And if you know your stuff, you're not thinking too long. And this is why I tell people leave the EBM questions because that's where you're thinking too long. And those are just 10 questions. Out of the 180, if you're spending too much time on the 10 questions that you're struggling with, and you leave the 60 MCQs that for anatomy that you could have done within that time frame, you lose marks. And the exam passing for primary is recently roughly between 63 to 65%, which is still about less than 120 out of the 180. You still have a margin of getting 40 questions wrong. So even if you get all your EBM questions wrong, which are just 10, by the way, you still pass the exam very comfortably. So no wasting time on questions that you feel like you might not know the answer to. And if you read the question and you're like, I don't know this, right? And you're making an educated guess, make the educated guess a lot sooner than wasting time on that question and then guessing. That's again, waste of time. I'd rather you do all the questions that you know first and then come back to the flagged questions later. Now, when it comes to the flagged questions, the question that you're struggling with and you don't know and you flag them and you come back later, please make sure they're not more than 30. If they're more than 30, at the end of your exam, you will not have enough time to go through those flagged questions. And I know this sounds all foreign at the moment because you haven't been in that exam space where you're doing MCQs daily. But once we start the mock exams, which is roughly around 25th of March, you will get into that mindset and you'll start understanding what I'm saying. Like read the last line and focus on the options that you have. And if you're struggling with an MCQ, skip it for now, come back later, things like that. Okay. Although for your mock exams, by the way, in the Google Forms, I don't think you can skip the MCQs. You have to do all of them within the time frame. So don't skip. You might miss those MCQs as non-answered. Okay. So no skipping. Here, you don't get that leverage. You have to go through all the MCQs and study them properly. Okay. I hope that clears it up. Anything else you want to have a discussion on before we sign off for today? Because there's nothing else planned for today. It was just the introduction session just to warm you up. Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm happy to sign off for today, and we will see you all. Well, we are always connected in the Telegram group, but we will officially see you all tomorrow with Dr. Saqib, okay? Allah Hafiz from my side.